Hey y'all, Coach Carpenter here. Today I want to go over 5 secrets to writing with a published writer. These secrets will help you get into better rooms when you're ready to level up your co-writes. Secret number 1, ask. It's that simple. At least it can be. The answer is always no if you don't ask. That being said, I wouldn't advise you to just pop the question when you meet a new writer. Now you force them to either say no in whatever public setting you're in, or to give you the standard line of, well, I need to run it by my publisher first. Both of which make them look like a complete asshole. Don't do that. Hey, even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. So they could say, sure, let's grab a date. But on the rare occasion that happens, consider this. In order to schedule a write with you, someone who's still trying to figure themselves out as a writer, whose ideas probably aren't as good, who doesn't have the connections to record labels, producers, artists, or even a publisher to help pay for half the demo and pitch the song when it's done. In order to schedule that write with you, that means they've got to take a date off their calendar with someone that they write with regularly, who probably has had cuts and does have connections to producers and artists and record label industry folks. And they've probably built a relationship with this person and know their family and hang out often. So see how that kind of puts them in an awkward position? Trust me, every hit writer knows that you want to write with them. But don't just write with them thinking that's going to be your fast track to success. One of the best ways to make that happen organically is to just become a true friend, get to know them. And if you do that, I can almost guarantee eventually they're going to say, hey, why haven't we written one yet? When that happens, they might even bring in one of those other successful writers they write with all the time. And then when you have success together, it'll really mean something. Secret number 2, build the relationship with them. It's a lot easier to sit in the room with someone all day long if you already know them, especially on a first write. The last thing you want to do is make a bad first impression, especially to someone that you look up to and admire. Some days the song just doesn't want to come together for whatever reason. And if you don't know each other well enough to see that it's going to be one of those days, then your co-write could real quickly turn into a co-stare. I've been there. Trust me, it's no fun at all. And it can hurt your chances of ever getting back in the room with them again. But if you take the time to get to know them before jumping into the room, you can turn days like that into just another good hang. Now, if that had been our first write together, it may well have been our last. But we'd written several songs together and we knew each other well. So my reply was, man, I feel you. You want to just call it, go grab some lunch? And that's what we did. At Santa Fe Cattle Company, if I remember correctly. And then the next day we came back and probably wrote 2 songs or something. You have days like that, but when you build a relationship, bad days are easy to get through. Secret number 3, impress their publisher. If you have a wish list of writers that you'd like to write with, one of the first things you need to do is do your research. Find out who their publishers are. Eventually you're going to get to a point to where you're ready to reach out to the publisher, or someone in the industry tells you that you're ready, maybe even makes the connection. When that happens, give them a call or shoot them an email. Ask for the meeting. Now I'll dive more into about how to ask for that first publisher meeting and how that could go in another section, but for now let's move on. If you get the meeting and it goes well, they may want to set you up with some of their writers just to see how it works out. Now at that point, you could ask to write with someone specific, but to be honest, any writer they set you up with is a win. Another way to get the attention of a publisher is to play out in Nashville at places where publishers hang out, like the Listening Room Cafe, the Bluebird Cafe, Commodore Grill. I would say Douglas Corner, but it closed during COVID, so that sucks. Or Midtown, there's lots of places up there. But be where they are. If your song's good enough, trust me, they'll approach you. And if they don't approach you, here's a little insider secret. They're going to hear you and they're going to know who you are. So when you reach out to set up that meeting, they'll have already heard of you. Now, just so you know, it could take several publisher meetings before they feel comfortable setting you up with one of their staff writers. But it's worth the wait. And when they do, you'll be ready. Secret number 4, unique titles, characters, and concepts. Now, this secret is more me personally because I don't care who you are or what level you are. If you bring me a title that I've never heard of before and it gets me excited, I'm going to see how quick we can get into a writer's room and write it. That's just me. And I'm sure there's some other hit writers out there that think the same way. For example, if someone brought me the idea he stopped loving her today. Before George Jones made it arguably one of the greatest country songs of all time. I'd be like, okay, how would we write that? And if they said, she died, that's why she stopped loving, I wouldn't have been able to get into a writer's room fast enough to write that. Great ideas will get you into great rooms. Just like being a great musician or being a well-rounded songwriter will get you into those rooms. You've got to find out what sets you apart from the other writers. What do you bring into the room that's uniquely you? Secret number 5, bring an artist to the table. If you're friends with an artist that's already successful or on the way up, offer to bring them in as a third. That will get you into some big rooms. Every songwriter wants a cut, and the best way to get a cut is to write it with the artist. It doesn't have to be Carrie Underwood or Luke Combs, although that would help. But if it's an artist you believe in and they've got talent, that gives the publisher more of a reason to say yes, to put their staff writer in with you. Honestly, nobody knows who the next big artist is going to be. So if you happen to have a bunch of songs written with them before they blow up, then it could be great for everybody involved. Just ask Ray Fulcher, who's got like 20-something cuts on Luke Combs. Yeah. In all serious, Ray's an amazing writer, an amazing artist in his own right. If you don't know him, check him out. So that's 5 secrets to writing with a published writer. I hope that gives you an idea of where to start and helps you level up your co-writes. So keep writing. The more you write, the better you'll get. And if you can prove these secrets work, maybe one day it's you that they're trying to get in the room with. When that happens, don't forget to invite me to the #1 party. Thanks, y'all. God bless.